Good day, everyone. So, today I'm going to discuss the continuation of Chapter 7's topic about the telecommunications, the internet, and the wireless technology. I am Antisa G. Formanes, and I will be the reporter for today. So, as my introduction, we all use the internet, and many of us cannot do without it. So, it becomes an indispensable personal and business tool. The internet has become the world's most extensive public communication system that now rivals the global telephone system in reach and range. But what exactly is the internet? How does it work? And what does internet technology have to offer for business? So in this topic, we will be able to learn the most important internet features. So the global internet. What is the internet? The internet addressing and architecture, the internet services and communication tools, and the web. So let's start with the definition of internet. So the internet is the world's largest implementation of client or server computing and internet working, linking millions of individual networks all over the world. So most homes and small businesses connect to the internet by subscribing to an internet service provider. An internet service provider, or the ISP. So it is a commercial organization with a permanent connection to the internet that sells temporary connections to retail subscribers. So an internet service provider is a business or an organization that provides internet connections for its customers or members by enabling data transmission between computers in workplaces or homes and other computers on the internet. And the example of these are Smart, Globe, AT&T, and many more. Digital Subscriber Line, or the DSL. It operates over existing telephone lines to carry voice, data, and video transmission rates. The cable internet connections provided by cable television vendors use digital cable coaxial lines to deliver high-speed internet access to homes and businesses. Next is internet addressing and architecture. So every computer on the internet is assigned a unique internet protocol address, or the IP, so which currently is a 32-bit number represented by 4 strings of number ranging from 0 to 255, separated by periods. So when a user sends a message to another user on the internet, the message is first decomposed into packets using the TCP protocol, and each packet contains its destination address. The packets are then sent from the client to the network server, and from there on to as many other servers as necessary to arrive at a specific computer with a known address. So at the destination address, the packets are reassembled into the original message, as you can see here in the figure. So the internet architecture and the governance. So the internet is based on client-server technology, and individuals using the internet control what they do through client applications in their computers, such as web browser software. The data, including email, messages, and web pages, are stored on servers. And the client uses the internet to request information from a particular web server on a distant computer, and the server sends the requested information back to the client over the internet. And as we all know, a client computer connecting to the internet has access to a variety of services. So like for example, through email, through chat or chatting, and the instant messaging. So email. Email enables messages to be exchanged from computer to computer with capabilities for routing messages to multiple recipients, forwarding messages, and attaching text documents or multimedia files to messages. So, familiar naman tayo sa lahat kung ano yung email and how it works. Next is chat or chatting. It enables two or more people are simultaneously connected to the internet to hold live interactive conversation chats, and chat systems now support voice and video that as well as written conversations. Next, the instant messaging. So it is a type of chat service that enables participants to create their own private channels. So the instant messaging system alerts the user whenever someone on his or her private list is online so that the user can initiate a chat session with other individuals. So it includes Yahoo Messenger, Google Talk, and Windows Messenger. So the best example for this is Facebook, Messenger in Facebook. Diba makikita natin kung online yung ka-chat natin, kung available sila. So major internet services. So email, person-to-person messaging or document sharing, while chatting and instant messaging, interactive conversations. Also the news groups, discussion group on electronic bulletin boards, the telnet, the file transfer protocol, and the World Wide Web. So these are the major internet services. Now let's talk about the web. So about 239 million people of all ages use the web all over the world. And the web is the most popular internet service. It's a system with universally accepted standards for storing, retrieving, formatting, and displaying information using a client-server architecture. While the website, it is a collection of web pages linked to home page. So an example of web, the Mozilla Firefox, the Google Chrome, the Microsoft Internet Explorer, the Apple Safari, and the Opera. Next is the hypertext. So web pages are based on standard hypertext markup language or the HTML, which formats documents and incorporates dynamic links to other documents and pictures stored in the same or remote computer. Web pages are accessible through the internet because web browser software operating your computer can request web pages stored on an internet host server using the Hypertext Transfer Protocol or the HTTP. So what is an HTTP? So it is the communications standard used to transfer pages on the web. So for example, ang example ng HTTP, ito yung mga link. For example, the http://www.sec.gov. Dadaling kayo doon sa website ng SEC government. Next is the web servers. So a web server is a software for locating and managing stored web pages. So it locates the web pages requested by a user on the computer where they are stored and delivers the web pages to the user's computer. And server applications usually run on dedicated computers, although they can all reside on a single computer in small organizations. And the most common web server in use today is the HTTP server, which controls 65% of the market. Next, search engines. So, ito yung search engines. So, engines attempts to solve the problem of finding useful information on the web nearly instantly, and arguably, they are the killer app of the internet era. There are different search engines in the world, but the vast majority of search results are supplied by Google, Yahoo, and Microsoft. So, sabi nga, it is considered as the killer app. Kasi lahat, di ba? Kapag may mga bagay na curious tayo, may mga bagay na gusto nating malaman, may mga bagay na hindi natin alam, dito tayo tumatakbo sa search engine. So, isi-search lang natin dyan. So, what is an internet? No? Teachers, students, lahat yan gumagamit. Kaya tinatawag siyang o tinuturing siyang killer app. Kumbaga sa bagay, gamit na gamit siya. So here, as you can see here in the figure, no, the commonly used web search engines contains of 78% is Google. Ito. Okay. So how Google works? So from the user, number one, user enters query. So from search engine, so magta-type siya ano yung question na gusto niyang masagot, and then followed by next step. So the Google's web servers receive the request or the question, and then the request is sent to Google's index servers that describe which pages contain the keywords matching the query and where those pages are stored in the document server. Next, using the PageRank software, the system measures the importance or the popularity of each page by solving an equation with more than 500 million variables in 2 billion terms. Next step, so the small text summaries are prepared for each web page, and then the results delivered to user, so 10 to a page. So see, nag-search ka lang, ang dami niyang pagdadaanan. Ang daming step na pagdadaanan. Pero in just a minute, mayroon na agad sagot sa kung anong hinahanap mo. So, next is the mobile search. So, with the growth of mobile smartphones and tablets computers, and with about 122 millions of people accessing the internet, using mobile devices, the nature of e-commerce and search is changing. A mobile search now makes up about 20% of all searches in the year 2012, and according to Google, will expand rapidly in the next few years. So this is very true. Sa ngayon, gamit na gamit ang mobile search. So the search engine marketing. So it is a major advertising platforms and shopping tools by offering. So because search engine marketing is so effective, companies seek to optimize their websites for search engine recognition. So the better optimized the page is, the higher a ranking it will achieve in search engine result listings. And next, the SEO. So the search engine optimization, or the SEO, is the process of improving the quality and volume of web traffic to a website by employing a series of techniques that help a website achieve a higher ranking with the major search engines when certain keywords and phrases are put in the search field. So it is an effort not to provide fewer, more relevant and trustworthy search results based on a person's network of social contacts. So here, in contrast to the top search engines that use a mathematical algorithm to find pages that satisfy our queries. So a social search website would review your friends' recommendations, their past web visits, and their use of like buttons. So, ayan. The social search. So, it is an effort to provide fewer, more relevant, and trustworthy search results based on a person's network of social contacts. So, as I mentioned a while ago. Next is the semantic search. So, another way for search engines to become more discriminating and helpful is to make search engines that could understand what is we are really looking for. And its goal is to build a search engine that could really understand human language and behavior. So next topic will be the Web 2.0. So today's websites don't just contain static content. They enable people to collaborate, share information, and create new services and content online. So these second generation interactive internet-based services are referred to as Web 2.0. So it has four defining features: interactivity, real-time, user control, social participation or sharing, and the user-generated content. And example no under Web 2.0. First is blog. So blog is the term for a web blog. It is a personal website that typically contains a series of chronological entries by its author and links to related web pages. So, lahat naman tayo familiar kung ano yung blog. Mayroon din naman tinatawag na microblogging. It is usually used in Twitter and it features short posts of about 140 characters or less. Another example no, under Web 2.0 is the social networking. So networking enables users to build communities of friends and professional colleagues, and members typically create a profile, a web page for posting photos, videos, MP3 files, and text, and then share these profiles with others on the services identified as their friends or contacts. And it is highly interactive, offer real-time user control, and rely on user-generated content, and are broadly based on social participation and sharing of content and opinions. So the very best example for social networking is Twitter and Facebook. Okay. So after Web 2.0, let's welcome to Web 3.0 or the future web. So every day, about 120 million of people enter 600 million queries into search engines. So tulad ng na-mention ko nga kanina, gamit na gamit ang web search sa daming tanong ng mga tao, sa daming gustong malaman. So arguably, fewer than half. The Google, Yahoo, Microsoft, and Amazon are all trying to increase the odds of people finding meaningful answers to search engine queries. So to a large content, the future of the web involves developing techniques to make searching the 400 billion public web pages more productive and meaningful for ordinary people. So kung kanina, yung Web 1.0 solved the problem of obtaining access to information, yung Web 2.0 naman, it solved the problem of sharing that information with others and building new web experiences. So here in Web 3.0, it is the promise of a future web where all this digital information, all of these contacts can be woven together into a single meaningful experience. So sometimes this referred to as the semantic web. Okay. So ano nga ba yung mga examples under the wireless revolution or ano bang nagkukonsist sa kanya? So first is the cellular systems. Cellular systems, the wireless computer networking and internet access or the Bluetooth, Wi-Fi and wireless internet access, the hotspots, and the WiMAX. So, welcome to the wireless revolution. No? An example of wireless revolution are the cell phones, smartphones, ano pa ba, tablets, and all wireless. No? It enabled personal computers to morph into portable media and computing platforms that let you perform many of the computing tasks you used to do at your desk, at your office, your school, and a whole lot more. So, cellular systems, no? In a few years, smartphones will be the predominant source of searches na nangyari na siya ngayon. So, usually, hindi tulad dati na more on desktop PC. So, earlier generations of cellular systems were designed primarily for voice and limited data transmission in the form of short text messages. So, today, wireless carriers offer 3G and 4G networks. So, Bluetooth. Bluetooth is the popular name for the 802.15 wireless networking standard, which is useful for creating small personal area network spans. So, for example, no, ginagamit ang Bluetooth sa mga wireless phones, ano pa ba, computers, printers, and computing devices. No? In order to communicate with each other, even operate each other without direct user intervention. So next is the Wi-Fi and wireless internet access. So it is a set of standards of wireless LANs and wireless internet access, or also known as Wi-Fi. So it is the most popular use for Wi-Fi today. It's for high-speed wireless internet service. So in this instance, the access point plugs into an internet connection, which could come from a cable server or the DSL telephone service. So computers within range of the access point use it to wirelessly to the internet. Next, hotspots. So hotspots typically consist of one or more access points providing wireless internet access in a public place. So some hotspots are free or do not require any additional software to use. Others may require activation and establishment of a user account by providing a credit card number over the web. We are all familiar, no, kung ano yung hotspots. Madalas din natin to gamitin. Next is the WiMAX. WiMAX stands for Worldwide Interoperability for Microwave Access. So it is the popular term for IEEE standard 802.16. So it has a wireless access range of up to 31 miles and transmission speed of up to 75 MB. So next, the RFID and wireless sensor networks. So the RFID and wireless sensor, no? So mobile technologies are creating new efficiencies and ways of working throughout the enterprise. In addition to the wireless system we have just described a while ago, so radio frequency identification systems or the RFID and the wireless sensor networks are also having a major impact. So let's start with the radio frequency identification or the RFID. So it provides a powerful technology for tracking the movement of goods throughout the supply chain. So RFID systems use tiny tags with embedded microchips containing data about an item and its location to transmit radio signals over a short distance to RFID readers. And the RFID readers then pass the data over a network to a computer for processing. Next, ano naman ang wireless sensor networks? So, wireless sensor networks are networks of interconnected wireless devices that are embedded into the physical environment to provide measurements of many points over large spaces. So these devices have built-in processing, storage, and radio frequency sensors and antennas. So they are linked into interconnected network that routes the data they capture to a computer for analysis. So yun. So in conclusion, a simple network consists of two or more connected computers. Basic network components include computers, network interfaces, a connection medium, a network operating system software, and either a hub or a switch. And the internet is a worldwide network of networks that uses the client or server model of computing and the TCP or the IP address. And the internet has major services including email, news groups, chatting, instant messaging, telnet, and the web. So that ends my report. Again, I am Antisa Formanis and thank you for listening.